Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm back out on a piece of public, a little bit closer to home again. So this is a setting that I would consider really high deer hunter density and kind of moderate deer density again. And I wanted to talk in this video about this situation, but when we have a food anchor or basically a heavy doe zone nearby, adjacent or on heavily hunted public land. So a couple of videos ago, I talked about kind of real low deer densities and uninfluenced by food sources, but where I'm at today, it's completely influenced by some big ag fields over here that each year it kind of rotates soybeans and corn, and there's all kinds of deer out there. You can see them driving by in the summer times on the highway. And then on the other side of this public over this way, there's more private land, and I think they have some big food plots. I don't know for sure, but it looks like that from the aerial photos. And there's just a lot of deer sign up that way. So I kind of got these anchors or doe zones, as I call them. You can call it whatever you want. Basically just influenced deer behavior and densities being influenced by ag fields or food plots or feeders or things like that. So I kind of got one on either side of me here, and this area produces big deer, and I know it because I've gotten pictures of them over the years. There's actually a big like private land holding, like a holding company that doesn't allow any hunting nearby. So I know deer can get old in there, and they kind of spill onto the public here. But if we go up by either one of these private land areas, there's a lot of ATV trails on the high ground. I found a bunch of deer stands on there. This gets hunted hard. And so my general strategy is coming out here is I'm going to start in these big swamp areas, as no surprise to you guys. And that's where I'm at right now. And I thought I should pull the camera out. This is a good place to start talking about what I'm looking for. And, if I'm a 4-year-old buck, so kind of back behind the camera this way, there's kind of a cool pine plantation, and it has a bunch of droppings in it, deer droppings. There's a bunch of deer trails. There's some rubs and stuff out there, but it's kind of open, and there's a bunch of ATV trails. So there's going to be does out there, let's say, throughout the fall. And then I know there's going to be does over on the private that way and the private that way. So if I'm a 4-year-old buck and I'm moving through from one kind of anchor to the next, if I'm coming kind of through this swamp right here where I'm at, I can scent check with a northwest wind. I can scent check like that private where the food is, plus this big pine plantation that's full of droppings and deer trails and things. With a northwest wind, I can scent check all that. If I'm a big old 4-year-old buck, I'm certainly not walking out in the open in that pine plantation during the daylight anyways. I'm definitely not doing that with the ATV trails, the deer stands, the human activity. So I pretty much write that area off. I'm not even going to, I've walked through it a few times on trails, but I'm not even going to consider hunting up and around that. I'm way out in the swamp here, and just looking around, I can see right now around me quite a few deer trails. And like right here, I can see there's deer droppings. I got 1, 2, 3 piles of deer droppings right here. It's really thick where I'm at, just where I'm standing right here, kind of surrounded by willows and alders and things. But I got droppings. So I have also found a couple of deer beds in here and a few rubs. So what I'm going to look for out in this swamp is an area where I can kind of get by myself and away from other hunters. And then like if I want to set up for a northwest wind, like I want to in this case, I need another northwest wind spot out here. I want to just think about how that big mature buck would be moving downwind of all the doe zones of these doe areas. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now where I'm at, is get downwind of what I believe are these doe zones and look for some trails, kind of a confluence of activity out here where I can get by myself. And, this is the kind of spot where you could catch a big daylight buck on his feet, during that first week in November or something like that, maybe in the evening on Halloween, those kind of days and that sort of time frame. So let's take a little walk over this way. I want to investigate kind of the edge of this a little bit more. and we'll see what we see over this way. Some more droppings right there. I'm actually getting pretty encouraged by the amount of droppings that I'm finding out here. So this is definitely an area that deer use. Yeah, there's some more droppings right here. Deer are definitely using this. They're definitely in here. The trouble is when you get in spots that are so thick, it's a good spot, but it's like, where do you set? Where do you hang a set in here to try to get a shot at anything? That's probably why they're out here. There's no way to hunt them. It's just so thick in here. Here's a nice trail that comes in right here. You can just see a number of these things kind of spider webbing out of this subtle little, there's kind of a subtle little rise right out here. Just a little bit of high ground, they relate to that. They're really bedded around the edge of this. So, you know, you could even see some does out here during the rut. It's definitely a pass-through funnel for bucks. Sorry for the brief interruption. We'll skip right back to the video here in a second, but I just wanted to show you guys real quick how we've got our young pine trees protected from deer browse. It's springtime now where I'm at, and once we get our first full flush of buds and green vegetation emerging, we'll pull the browse blockers off and we'll save them because you can use them multiple years. If you've had trouble with deer browsing on your young pine trees, this is a really low cost and effective way to keep the deer off them and prevent that browsing. So if it's something that you think could help you out, you're welcome to check them out at browseblocker.com. If you do decide to purchase some, let us know that you saw this ad on YouTube and we'll throw in 10 free browse blockers on top of whatever you order. So I've kind of got a little subtle swamp island here, just a little bit of rise out in this swamp. I definitely want to get in here for a potential stand location, but I just don't see one right now. Something that I can get a tree stand in, where I can still get a shot at a semi-natural opening. I don't want to be clearing huge shooting lanes out in this, or it'll just kind of defeat the whole point of getting out here in a remote spot like this. So I'm going to keep searching for that tree here, but I'm really liking what I'm finding here with the droppings, the rubs, and then the trails kind of coming up onto this. I've found that in these really heavily pressured areas with high hunter densities, these whitetails really relate to these swamps, which is no secret, but I think they're actually using them more as their means of travel during the daytime than anything. You know, I used to kind of think that you want to get on the high ground ridge or the high ground swamp, but at least in these really heavily hunted areas, these deer are finding ways to move through these alders and willows, and I'm going to just keep keying in on that using kind of human activity like homes and other hunting locations where I know other guys got stands to kind of funnel it down to an hourglass of movement. So that's what I got for you guys this week. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Take care. I will catch you guys on the next video. Well, thanks for watching the video all the way through. I did just want to send out a quick reminder that if you have ever wanted to work with myself one-on-one on any type of whitetail hunting related topics, there is a way to do that via email. I'll put it here on the screen. You can shoot me a message and we could talk a little bit more in detail about some of those details. But bottom line is I do have to charge just a small fee. It's about the price of a case of beer. But if that's something that interests you, you could do that. We could work together for a couple of weeks on, again, whatever topic it is. If you want to look at aerial photos and email those to me, I can give you my thoughts on areas I would scout. like if it's public land or private, potential stand locations, whatever questions you may have, or anything you want to work on. We could do that via email for those couple weeks. I do have to charge that little bit of money just because I do get inundated with questions and emails and messages and things throughout the month. So this allows me to focus my time and energy on the one person and help out that person over that couple week period. So it's just a low cost way that we can connect myself with people who watch my videos. There's really no substitute for boots on the ground. Like if you own private property and you're trying to set up your parcel, your farm, whatever it is, there's really no substitute for boots on the ground. But you'd also have to pay somebody a few $1,000s, on average, to come out and look at your property. This is a way, again, for about the price of a case of beer, we could just talk on a virtual level via email about kind of those big picture key themes, things like that. And a lot of people really enjoy it and appreciate that it's there. So I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. If that interests you, great. If not, you can just keep watching the videos. Good luck. It's springtime now. Get out there and get after it. Hope you guys are enjoying this spring. I will catch you guys on the next video.